been not doing as many episodes because we're getting this move to the East Coast figured out, y'all. But we'll be there soon, and then we'll be gripping and ripping and steady sipping as always. Anyway, this is Laying It Down with Big D. I, of course, am your host, Big Andrew Big D Morrow, and today I've got another very special guest here on the show, another upcoming major attendee. I'm sure we'll pick his brains to find out about that. A man with a lot of story behind him, coming out and playing for NRG this year, but putting up the numbers, and you love to see it, doing NA justice. I've got Zach XotiC Elshani here. Zach, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm living the dream, dude. I mean, I get to lay on my bed and yap with upcoming major attendees about the majors. That's. I love Counter-Strike, so I'm doing freaking swell, dude.
Nice. Sounds like the life.
Dude, it is. I didn't ask you before we started recording, but do you got a view out there through your window?
Do you? I mean, not a crazy
view as well.
No. No. I mean, I'm on the third floor, but not a city view.
Okay.
Nice view, but not a city view.
We won't ask you to move everything. No, it looks like a lovely place. A nice. Is this where you play Counter-Strike?
Yep.
Dude, that's sick. Well, okay, let's go back in time to start out here. Make sure we keep track of how long this is taking. What are your earliest memories of gaming, and how did they lead you to Counter-Strike?
I started playing. I mean, I pretty much grew up playing video games, just like Xbox and PlayStation, like early console stuff, when I was really young. But I started playing console really just like not Call of Duty. When I was really young, I played like Halo and stuff on Xbox. So that's kind of where I guess started really. But that was just console games, whatnot. And then I think I got my first PC. I think I started playing like PC when I was like maybe 8 or 9, somewhere around there. And I pretty much got into PC because of my brother, because he used to play, and he was really good with computers, and he worked in IT and whatnot, so he knew how to build computers and do all that stuff. And when he got first computer in the house, like that was really where I first started and started learning about computers and whatever. And then he used to play some games like Wolfenstein, and that's pretty much where I got hooked. So that's where I started playing PC. And then as I got older, I kind of branched out, and then I learned about Steam and all this stuff. And then I started playing Counter-Strike Source. And then, yeah, so I was really young then. So I was probably about like, I don't know, maybe like 11, 10, somewhere around there. 10, 11, 12. I don't know the exact dates and times how old I was, but it was pretty early on. So I first got into Counter-Strike Source, and I played that for a while when I was young. And then as soon as CSGO came out, that's when I started playing it in 2012, I think is when it came out.
Yep, 2012. So you were playing day one CSGO?
Yep. I mean, yeah, pretty much, yeah. I pretty much played it as soon as it came out. So, but I had already been playing Counter-Strike Source, so I was excited to have a new Counter-Strike,
How long do you feel like it took CSGO to feel like a good game? Or did you care about that much? Hey, this is my cat, by the way. This is Momo.
Hey, buddy. That's a cute cat.
Yeah, he's a good kitty. He's part of the team. We got the dog here, too.
Oh, you got the dog, too.
Oh, yeah.
Are they best friends?
Oh, yeah, they are best friends. It took them a while. They're both boys. I've had them since they were about 2 years old, so, like, they were always friendly, but, like, they definitely like were wary of each other for a really long time. But like now, I come in and they're like laying on the bed together and chilling, and oh yeah,
Getting along.
they're
Yeah,
they're best friends.
that's cool. Um,
But
yeah, you were saying how long do I think it took for the game to feel like decent to play?
yeah,
Um, honestly, I don't even know because I was so young. I just played the game. I didn't even really think about like all the problems with the game. Like played the game for what it was, and I was grateful. But I mean, I do know that when the game first
thank
came out,
you,
it was pretty bad.
gamers. God, sorry, I'm interrupting you there. That's
You're
just
good.
I was grateful to play the game. I wasn't thinking about the problems.
Yeah. Well, that's how I feel because now when I play CS2, I definitely feel a different way about it. But in terms of like consistency in the game and how it feels now and where I like would expect it to be, especially coming from CS:GO. But yeah, when I first started playing CS:GO, I know it wasn't like great. There was a lot of bugs, and you could like jumping scout from across the map and be accurate. There was a lot of crazy things. So, I mean, I know it was bad, and I also didn't play competitively, obviously. So those issues to me didn't really stand out, or nor did I care. Just like I said, I played the game for what it was. But um, I don't know. I mean, I know it took a while. I don't think the game was like great until maybe like 2014, maybe somewhere around there. I think because you had like the running tech. I don't know. You had different metas every time. You had like the CZ when it was best gun in the game, the Tech 9 when it was the best gun in the game. You could run around and shoot. Like it was crazy. But um, yeah, I'd say probably around like 2014, maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because there was a period of time at the beginning of CS:GO. Like, I still think it took a while, like closer to like when they put it on the panorama and like started to switch some stuff over, that it started to like really feel good. That, or I was just finally understanding the game and playing it better, one of the two. But
Yeah,
uh, there was definitely an objective first year or two of CS:GO where the game just was was not a very well run game, and like even
yeah,
like the people, even the people who were into it were like, no, Source or 1.6 was so much better. But I also think the Counter-Strike community doesn't like change really, and they want things to stay the same always and forever. I,
yeah.
I I'd, I'm still waiting for Cloud9 to make a comeback here, dude.
Hmm.
Make a make a big rise from North American soil. They're gonna pull Tarek out of retirement. They're gonna get the whole gang back together, Zach. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Um, well, how long was it before you started playing competitive Counter Strike?
Um, I think I played like ESEA and all that stuff back then. Say like
Like when you were young, when CS:GO came out?
not right away. I mean, I tried to play like I think I played a little bit of CEVO and whatnot, but I mainly played matchmaking and whatnot for a while. I didn't have a really good computer to run the game either, so it was really hard to um, you know, play like CEVO and all these things when I would just like my game would just crash and stuff. So uh, I played ESEA like pretty early on. I was pretty young. So I probably played in like 2013, 14 maybe, probably like 2014, I would say, on like ESEA and whatnot. I was like so young, so I didn't have like a good PC to play because every time I remember I tried playing on ESEA and I didn't have like great internet either, but I would like crash and then you'd get a cooldown, and then I'd get banned for like a week. Is leaving the game and whatnot was like obviously a pretty big ban time. So
Yeah, big
we get
no
banned
no.
for like a week and I'm like, dude, why am I paying for this shit? Like I'm paying for it and then I get banned and I don't get to play for like a week. So I like dabbled in CEVO and whatnot and then ESEA, and then when I got a better PC, I really started playing ESEA, and that was like my real, um, I'd say like my real start to, I guess, try to play like more competitively. Like even though it was just, pugging and whatnot, I enjoyed like that aspect of playing against better players and not playing against cheaters and whatever. Climbing the ranks was like fun because you reach the top in matchmaking and then you're like, all right, where does it go from here? So it felt like the next step, obviously. And
Were you global
yeah,
elite when you were doing this?
yeah. So I reached like global elite or whatever first, and then I went to ESEA, and then played there. So that was probably like 2014, and then I don't remember when I joined my first like league team, but it had to have been like pretty soon after I started playing ESEA because I just really enjoyed like the competitive aspect. And once I saw that they had like divisions and all this stuff, you could play like open IM with your friends and make a team. I started that like pretty quickly.
Did you start in open?
I did, yeah, yeah.
And then take us from the journey from open to NRG.
Jeez, man, it's a long one. Let's see if I
Yeah,
remember the
I'm
timeline.
blanking on it.
Yeah. I don't know. So I started in open pretty much just screwing around with friends, whatever. And then I played IM with some team. I don't even remember. It was probably like half friends, half like people I didn't know. Um, and then from there I went to main, and I mean I'd say like pretty quickly, progressed pretty quickly. I would say like pretty much every season I was like, I mean maybe open I was like screwing around a little bit more because I didn't know what I was doing and I was just really playing for fun. But um, yeah, as soon as I like really started playing and taking it serious, I went open IM main pretty much within like a season each, something like that. And then from main, I think I played like 1 or 2 seasons maybe, and then I went to Premier, and then Premier I played 2 seasons, and then Uh, I joined my first like real team, which was COG Academy, and that was in Premier as well. So my first like real Premier team was pretty much with friends and whatnot, and then second season I played with COG Academy, and then after that season, or like I think it was like pretty much mid end season, is when I joined the original COG roster, like the main roster. So that was like my first introduction into professional. But the journey going from there to there was uh pretty. I mean, it was pretty quick, I would say, compared to like a lot of other people playing. So it was definitely. I mean, it was a grind. Don't get me wrong. I had been playing for a while and climbing the ranks and whatnot, but um, I'd
Did
say
you
I,
play
I kind of climbed up
competitively
there.
in Source at all?
I didn't. No, I just played
You,
super like casual. I play like mini games and stuff. Like
did you
I
ever
didn't really
play
get.
the competitive bomb defusal mode?
Yeah. But I mostly
Okay.
played on like I don't know weird maps, like not official. I played like a lot of Office and I don't know random
Oh
stuff, and
yeah,
then
dude.
um, I mean yeah, I would play like 5v5, but not on like your normal maps. It wasn't like Dust 2, blah blah blah, like whatever. It was a lot of just random like community maps and stuff. So I don't know, it was like random, but yeah, I didn't really touch competitive in CSS.
Anyway, sorry for interrupting you there. I was
Oh,
just
you're good.
curious about the. That's still a lot of time mechanically that you're spending.
Oh
Like
yeah,
a lot of really good players I've talked to talk about the fact there's like thousands of hours they have just playing like arms racer demolition mode as like a teenager before they started
yeah.
actually competing in the game.
Oh yeah. I mean, most of my hours I would say from Source were just like mini games, B hop, like surf. I don't know, random stuff that like doesn't even correlate. I mean, well, obviously it correlates to the mechanics of the game, but I had no like interest in competitive play, during that time when I just played. When I played Source, I literally only played it for the like mini games and community servers and stuff, like just screwing around, fun stuff, nothing serious.
Have you when Okay, well, actually, I want to. I know that it's gonna take a while to get to NRG, but let's talk about CLG for a second here. Like,
Mhm.
when you, how old were you when you got picked up by the CLG main roster?
Uh, CLG main roster. I think I was like 15, turning 16. I was like right on that mark, like 15 or 16. Pretty sure.
Um, so
Yeah, should be there. In the,
did you go to LAN with them as a young man?
nope, I didn't.
Oh shit. Okay, so
Yeah.
this
So
is this is
yeah,
where the
this is
story
the story.
begins.
It's really where the story begins. Like all the other stuff was nothing. But yeah, I mean, so when I played on, so I got moved up from the academy team uh, to the main roster, and that's when I started obviously playing with. I think the roster at the time was like Ethan, um, Cutler. Uh, shoot,
Was JDM?
nah, he wasn't playing. I think Kusta
Were
was
you an
playing.
opper at the time? Like, is that what
Yeah,
you was? Is that always been the role you play?
yeah, yeah. That's always been the role I played. So I joined as Opper, and then I think, if I remember correctly, Kusta was still playing, so he wanted to stop opping and he wanted to rifle. So they picked me up. I took the op role, and then he just rifled. So I think it was me, Kusta, Cutler, Ethan, and I forgot who the last guy was. I'm drawing a blank here. It's been so long. Um, Let me see.
Was it FNX?
No, no. Let me see. Okay.
Was it Hazed?
Nope. Oh man, this is gonna be a while. I gotta go through like pages of matches. But yeah, anyways, I played with them, so I joined, and then I started playing with them, and uh, we basically were playing. Oh, actually, I have it here. Okay, so it was me, Rix, Usta, Ethan, Cutler. That's right. So that was the roster.
Ricks?
Yeah. So that was the roster, and then we started playing. And at the time I was still under contract obviously with the academy team, so once we like played a little bit and whatever, and then they wanted to make the final change, meaning having me join the main roster, then that's where everybody was getting ready to re-sign because everybody's contract was pretty much coming up, so we were all getting ready to re-sign. We already like wanted to play, whatever, everything went good. We played in um some matches and whatever, and then we were getting ready to all re-sign, and I would be moving up from obviously the academy to the team to the main team, and then just before we signed, CLG actually decided to pull out of Counter Strike and no longer fund a team. So that's where like the team died because Ethan went to NRG, and who else did? Yeah, Ethan went to NRG, and I don't remember where everyone else went, but obviously the team kind of split up because we didn't have an org and there's no org to play under and blah blah blah, and then obviously people like Ethan were getting uh, offers and stuff from other teams like NRG, so the team split up there, and then I didn't have a team anymore. But it was so short lived, like we didn't get to play any lands or anything. We just obviously it was all online matches and whatnot, so I didn't have like any experience obviously playing on LAN yet, and then that was like pretty short period of time. And then uh, I thought like at that point my career in CS was like done, really, because I didn't. I mean, like,
You were 15 years old and you're like, that's it for me. That'll do it.
well, in my mind, the way that I viewed it, well, I didn't think it was done per se, but I knew that like I didn't get a chance to prove myself really that I could play at that level, And I was so young at that time too. Um, so in my mind, it wasn't that okay. Maybe thinking it was over is a little exaggerated, but I definitely felt like it was going to be really hard, because
Oh
I
yeah.
barely played. Like I didn't
You
really get to
said that.
show. Yeah, I didn't get to show that I can play at this level, and I only had like a couple matches, and like yeah, I played decently well, but it wasn't enough, in my opinion. I think where it was like, oh, okay, we should get this guy over, who we have now, and that seemed to be the common theme, which was like just a kind of like a rotation of the same players over and over. And I felt like me coming in as a new player, a new kid on the block, if you will, that I wouldn't like people wouldn't see that and think like, oh, it's worth it to get him over someone that's been playing. Maybe they're not playing that well right now, but they have all this experience, blah, 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 blah. It was like a pretty common theme at the time where, they're just a lot of the NA teams were just recycling a lot of the same players and just doing roster shifts from roster to roster, but not really picking up any new talent. It was like pretty unheard of, at least during that time, it seemed.
Yeah, that seems to be a North American. Is my microphone working? We better hope it's working.
I can hear you. I don't know which microphone's working, but one of them's working.
I'm talking about this one. I keep seeing
Oh.
the red light flash when I move it around, but then it goes back to green. So, but anyway, that seems to be a North American specialty. Is just roster shuffling forever and not developing new talent.
Yeah, that's definitely what it seemed like and felt like. So at that time, that's how I felt, But what ended up happening is Splice actually reached out to me, right? And that's where I joined Splice, and then that was like really my official team, I guess, because I played obviously a lot longer. I was like officially under contract on the pro team, so that was like my first real pro contract, and then that was like Davey, Semphis, Jerome, Roca, and then me, and then so that's when I joined Splice, and then I played with them for a while, and then pretty much same thing happened, which was they decided to pull out from Counter-Strike 2. And it was like we had Pro League at the time, or I don't remember if it was Pro League or whatever. But yeah, that was like
NA Pro League at the time, right? Like that's
think
when
so.
Pro League had the different divisions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's been so long that I forget because they changed all of the like divisions and whatnot, but I think it was like Pro League at the time or whatever. But yeah, that was like at the time where all that stuff happened when, I didn't end up going to the event and they used someone else. And that was like the what's it called? I guess transfer, right? Of like getting another player or playing with someone else, And that time was, I don't know, like it was an interesting time because I had obviously made it to the pro team, and that was like exciting. But when I started playing, like I quickly didn't enjoy my time playing, and so it was like rough in that way. I wasn't really enjoying Counter-Strike at that time.
What made you not enjoy playing once you had joined the pro team?
I was just so young at the time, and I was still in school, and like I didn't really have the option to like not go to, you know what I mean? Like not go to school and just play Counter-Strike. Obviously, I'm like really young, so I'm not at an age where I can make a decision to, do like online classes or even get my GED or something at that point. But like that wasn't really an option, so I had to balance school between playing as well, and this was like in school, so I ended up missing a lot of school, which was like another part of it. But that's kind of where like it all kind of crumbled and came down because I'm trying to play on a pro team, and I'm also trying to balance going to school, blah blah blah, and then like my reputation wasn't great from missing an event, etc. And then pretty much from there, I like didn't even care to play again, really. So that was like we basically mutually, you know, ties on the team, and I knew that they were going to use someone else, and that's kind of where it went. But I wasn't like in it mentally to play. It was like having a lot of trouble with school, obviously, and then like my parents as well. When I was missing a lot of school, so it started to be like a big problem of trying to balance between the two and blah 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 blah. So the big thing was really when they decided to pull out from Counter Strike. It was like uh, I don't have a job anymore really. Like yeah, it was good during the time, but I didn't have a sense of security, and that was like a big thing too, which is like when I'm missing a lot of school and all this stuff, and then it comes crumbling down like pretty quickly. You know, my parents obviously weren't very happy about that either, because it's like, why are you missing school and blah 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 blah. So it was like hard in that way, and it definitely changed my perspective of what I thought about the pro scene and just like in general, I was doing it as a career and all that. And then obviously at that point, like my reputation wasn't great. I hadn't even played on LAN yet, so to me that was like officially where I was like, yeah, like no, I don't think people are gonna want to play with me, number one, but number two, like I don't even want to play myself. So I never really like thought about it the same way, and I basically stopped trying to pursue it in a professional way, And then that's when I went to school, so I ended up actually going to college during that time. So I finished high school early. I just got that done and out of the way. I got my GED, and I went straight to college because I like needed to make money, and I wanted to do something that I felt was good for long term. So that was basically that whole period. And then I dabbled in like playing and whatnot during that time as well. And obviously like not super serious, but yeah, I didn't have the greatest reputation from like, not going to events and whatnot. And that's kind of where I got the nickname, obviously. And then like playing with other teams too, because like I played with one other team after that, and we qualified for an event. But I was still in school. I was still in school during that time, so I didn't go, obviously. But yeah, it wasn't great, obviously, for my reputation. And yeah, that's pretty much where I got the reputation from. And I didn't think about even playing again after that point, because I don't know. I didn't think of it as a way to have some security in my life, for work and a job. So I like my parents obviously wanted me to go to school, and that was like another big reason as to not being able to go and whatnot and play. But yeah, so I just ended up going to school and doing that instead. And then I just played like casually and for fun, but nothing super serious.
So what year was that you left Splice, and then how long has it been that you were just like playing FPL and pugging?
Since like 2017,
8 years?
20, 2017 or 2018, I think. I'll tell you right now. I don't know, it's been so long. I like don't even remember half of this stuff either. Okay, it was 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Still 7 years it's been. So you went to college, you graduated. What'd you get a degree in?
I went to school for IT.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I,
Do
I
you
actually, oh, what?
go
Sorry?
on?
Oh, I was just saying, so yeah, I went to college for IT. I went to a technical university. Um, but I was, so that was like 2018. Yeah. So I was like in college during that time, 2018. So I was like 7 17 or 18 at the time, and I was going to technical university for IT, and then I got my associates. So I was still in school. I was going for my bachelor's, but uh, I was like pretty bored of school, and I wasn't. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it really, to be honest. And so when I was in college, that I knew that I didn't want to continue doing it. So I was like midway through my associate's degree, so like a year. And during this time is when I was working with my friend. He basically was the one that was like, he told me about like e-commerce and all this stuff. Like he had a friend that was in school, and he's a little bit older than me. So this kid was like maybe 23 at the time, 24, like his friend I'm talking about. And he was doing like e-commerce, and he was making money, selling stuff online, and created a business online, blah 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 blah. Started making like a lot of money, and my friend was telling me like, "Oh, dude, we should do this. Like, let's get into this. Like, this would be sick. And so I was like, I was down because I was like desperate in that moment. Like I knew that school was not going to be the option, and I didn't even want to do IT at this point. Because I just realized that I was going to school for so long, and I racked up so much debt from school to just really not get that great of a paying job. And I was like, yeah, I don't see myself doing this. So while I was in college, we decided to start learning about e-commerce and whatnot, and we had been working on that for like, I don't know, 6 months to a year, somewhere around there. And then we hit it like pretty big. And we had like a lot of success pretty early on, my friend and I. And that's when I realized like I really enjoy doing e-commerce, and I think like making money online and owning like brands and businesses online is sick. So I only had like a couple months left to get my associate's degree, and so I just finished it out, but I knew I wasn't going to continue. And that's like where the rest of everything kind of kicked off. Like I decided to get into business and e-commerce, and um, I stopped going to school or college. I got my associates. I didn't continue, and then I had been doing e-commerce ever since. So from 2018 till now is and like the timeline for when I've been doing that. So that was like my career. And obviously I would just like dabble and play like FPL and whatnot and Pug and whatever during that time, but never not on a team or playing serious, because to me like Counter-Strike was just for fun, and I just kept it that way because I realized that like having the experience and already playing on a pro team, blah 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 blah, I just didn't enjoy it. And I was like too young at the time to like really understand it. And so yeah, that was like that's where I've been for from there till now. And then yeah.
Well, yeah. What changed? Did you just to where you wanted to? How did you get picked up by NRG? What made you decide now's the time?
Well, I think a big thing for me is um I have just been working like nonstop for the last, like 4 years in e-commerce. And I mean it's not easy, obviously. There's a lot of risk and a lot of ups and downs and highs and lows, and the highs are great and you feel on top of the world, but obviously uh, low points are not great either. So there was a point in time like where I wasn't doing very well. Like took a lot of risk, and for me, like I'm just that type of person. I take a shit ton of risk, and I lost a lot of money in e-commerce, and uh, it kind of like shifted my perspective a little bit because I hadn't made a lot of money too, and obviously was doing really well for a while, but I wasn't really like living life. I wasn't traveling. I was just working all the time. And yeah, it's fun making money and, doing e-commerce and building brands and all this stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, it's really fun. I really enjoy it. But during that time, it's like I didn't travel, I didn't do anything, so I wasn't like really living life, and I didn't feel like I had a reason to do it, to travel or do anything really other than work. Like that's what I enjoy doing, and and then like during this time or like a little bit after is when George, like I used to play with George a while ago on just like some pug teams and whatever and whatnot. But he reached out to me and he's like, yo, like join my team. I'm like, will you join my team? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, are you being serious? And he's like, yeah, I'm being serious. Like, would you play? If everybody wanted to pick you up and blah 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 blah, like, would you play? And I was like, maybe, like I don't know if I really want to, blah 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 blah. It's not really my thing, blah 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 blah. And then we just started, like, we just kept, like, we talked about it more, and I just kind of like sat on it and thought about it and thought about if this is something I really want to do. And in my mind, I thought about it like it gives me a reason. Like, Counter-Strike doesn't feel like work, obviously, when you're playing and you're playing with your friends and you're having fun and like you're playing a video game, you know what I mean? Like, if I were to compare e-commerce to Counter-Strike, it's like, yeah, I might enjoy e-commerce, but Counter-Strike is just fun, Like, there's nothing better than fucking playing a video game and getting to run around and, you know, play with your friends and win and whatever. Like, that's obviously a great feeling, and you get to play with your friends, which is like a really big thing. In e-commerce, it's obviously a lot different. Like, yeah, you might have some friends that are in e-commerce, but it's a lot different, when it comes to like business world. So it was like I thought of it in a way like I get to play with friends because obviously I know George. I met some of the other guys, and I thought they were cool, and I really liked them and personalities, etc. And so I was like, well, it's not a bad opportunity to kind of just take a break a little bit from e-commerce, or not really just take a break per se, but just take it slow, because I've been working so much and so hard for the last couple of years, and just, I don't know, travel, play the game, see my friends, or like meet new people, meet my friends that I've been playing with for so long, blah 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 blah. So I thought it was like a good opportunity to do that, and it all lined up somehow, some way. I don't know, like, it's weird how things work, but like timing wise, you know, all that type of stuff, and just like balancing between work, because I still do e-commerce. Like, I still do e-commerce now, but it's a lot different because I have so much time and experience doing it that it doesn't require a whole lot of my time and attention, just because I've done it for so long and I have systems and I have like some employees and whatnot. So I can still balance between the two, obviously, but it's like it worked out in a way where I really can commit to like playing on a pro team full time. And that was like a really big thing too. I was like, well, it's not bad to just kind of take it slow right now with e-commerce, and just try it. Just try it. Just play pro on an actual team, and travel, get to play at these international events, play with my friends, and then obviously we're going to the major now, so like,
Yeah, dude, that's
insane.
kind of actually, that's a crazy story, actually, dude. Like, from literally spiking up in like playing the professional level at an age where, and then like making the adult decision at that young age to be like, no, I need to stick with my responsibilities, listen to my parents, stick with school. Maybe you hated it at the time and wished you were playing Counter-Strike instead, but like, you made that decision, and then you go off and you be successful to a point that allows you to now pursue that professional Counter-Strike. And you've silenced the haters, dude. Like, you've shown up to LAN this year. Like, Canada was your very first time on LAN, right?
Yep.
Dude, what was it like?
It was fun.
Dude, yeah,
Fun for sure.
hear the journey now. I want to hear the journey now from your first land in Canada 4 months ago. Yeah, let's say 4 months.
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
No, it's been
I'm
3 months.
Yeah.
Because it was mid July and it's mid October right now. 3 months ago, from your first land to now to EPL, and then now you're about to go play in the freaking major, dude.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Like I said, it's really weird. It's like I said, everything just lined up somehow, some way. I don't know. I guess I'm blessed in that way. And I'm obviously grateful, but yeah, it's very interesting because I never really saw my life like pan out this way, you know? Because I just only focused on e-commerce and that's all I cared to do. But yeah, when this came around and then I joined and we went to the frag in Canada, which was my first LAN, and that was obviously my first experience playing on LAN, and like that was fucking fun, you know. Like obviously playing on LAN is a lot better, especially Counter Strike 2 is definitely way better on LAN. But yeah, that was my first experience playing on LAN, and it was great. I mean, we had a good time. I obviously had just joined the team, so we didn't have like any practice or anything, but um, yeah, playing there was fun. Um, Obviously, we didn't go very far, but it was good, like the experience and whatnot, and like playing with everybody, meeting with everybody, and seeing them on land and playing next to them was like really fun. And then obviously, like things moved pretty quickly from there. Like immediately, we went to Sheffield right after that, like literally 2 weeks. And then that was, I mean, that wasn't LAN obviously, but we played the one event. I can't remember the event. Jesus.
The Blast qualifiers.
Yeah, the Blast qualifier. We played Vitality, and then got shit stomped. but but yeah, we were in Sheffield for a little while, like practicing and whatnot. Wasn't like a boot camp per se, or maybe a little mini one, but so yeah, straight from Canada land to this, and then oh geez, what was the next one? Oh my god, I can't even. Dude, it's been like such a fast like 3 months. I can't even remember myself.
Did you guys come back from the UK back here
What's that?
to play? Did you guys come back from the UK? Sheffield, you were in the UK, right? That's the UK.
Yeah.
That's England, right? Sheffield,
Yeah.
England.
Yep.
And did you come back here to play ECL and then to qualify for EPL and then go back over to Sweden?
No, so they had the invite from last season. So that was obviously already planned. Like I knew we were playing at EPL since the time I joined. But the Sheffield one, I think it was Falcons that actually, yeah, Falcons like dropped out of the last thing or whatever. So we got the invite, and we knew when we were at Frag in Canada. I was literally literally mid match, or not mid match, but we were like just about to play our match at Frag, and we got the we saw the article that Falcons dropped out, and then we got the invite. So we knew at that moment that we were going to Sheffield in 2 weeks. So it was pretty quick, obviously, from just joining and playing and whatnot. But yeah, that was that, and then we came back, and then we just practiced here, obviously, and then went to EPL. Obviously, didn't play well, but we had very little practice, and then also our teammate Sana couldn't get his visa in time, so he missed like a little bit of the boot camp. So we didn't have a whole lot of practice and time there as we would like to, because he obviously wasn't there for the first part of the boot camp. But we had just picked him up too, so we didn't have any practice really. And then we played EPL, and obviously didn't play very well there. And then yeah, then we came home, and here we are now, getting ready to go to this next frag in like what, a week and a half.
Yeah, dude, you guys are gonna be there. I'm gonna miss it. I'm sad.
Oh, you're not coming?
I'm not going to that one. I'll be in Miami. Are you guys going to Miami?
I have no idea. When is that one? I don't even know when that one is.
It's January 2nd through 4th.
January 2nd. I have I have no idea. I actually don't know.
The major will be over by then. The major starts at end of November, right?
Yeah, around the 21st, 22nd or 23rd. November 22nd or 3rd. Maybe a little bit later.
The like playoff stage of it will be like sometime mid-December.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we might see you in Miami. Are you excited?
Yeah.
How is it play? I want to know. I mean, I asked Jaden this when I had him on the show last week, but like, how has it been like playing just in that short span at like something like a grassroots land like Frag compared to like going and playing in Pro League?
Um.
Well, and you guys won at Knoxville as well. Don't forget about
that. Oh yeah. That's right. We went to Knoxville.
That's where you guys went after Sheffield.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's the one. I was like trying to remember, like short-term memory loss or something. But yeah, we did. I totally forgot. Yeah, I totally forgot about it because I was like, I know we went somewhere else, but I'm not sure where. And then I totally spaced that entire time. It's been such a fast like 3 months. That's why it's like I can't even keep up because it's just been so like hectic. Yeah, in terms of like traveling and events and whatnot, and then just life in general, you know. But yeah, I would say like obviously the frag in Canada was like pretty good actually. My expectations were pretty low in terms of like what to expect from a frag. Like obviously I know it's like pretty casual. People are like screaming and whatnot like right next to you. It's obviously not like a super serious event, obviously. But like I didn't have like super high expectations. Yeah, no, it is for sure. But like being my first LAN, I didn't expect a whole lot just from hearing how people say frag is, you know, not super serious. Not that it's bad, but just that, you know, not very serious, really. Like in the sense of environment, obviously.
Sure.
And maybe like the setups aren't like incredible, where you would see something like at EPL, right? But no, it actually surprised me. I mean, the equipment was really good. Everything was really good, and then obviously playing on the stage is really fun. So I got that. I definitely got the experience a little bit of like, you know, I mean, it's not a lot of people, obviously, but playing on LAN in front of people, blah blah blah. It's like a different environment, obviously, than playing like online. But I mean, it's fun for sure. Like you definitely get a lot of adrenaline rush, which I like. That feeling of like, you know, pressure is. I like that feeling of pressure, and it gets the adrenaline pumping, you know. And so that was like a really cool first experience, obviously. And then Knoxville, we played. It was a little. I mean, it definitely wasn't as great as the Canada one, but
Knoxville was cramped.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was hard to hear, like, you know, even people were like screaming at the top of their lungs, like, you know, right next to me. So it was like hard to hear in a tiny little room with like
outlet,
everyone else.
Yeah, like outlet mall with a like whatever Planet Fitness right next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a little bit different. No. Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. But yeah, it was obviously a little bit different than the Canada one. Like the one in Canada, they obviously had like other rooms and stuff too, so it was like split up. It wasn't as chaotic, so that was nice in that regard. But I mean, it didn't really bother me that much. But yeah, it was fun, and I mean, comparing that to like EPL, for example, I mean, like Pro League, obviously, there's a lot more pressure. A little bit different, obviously, because there's not a crowd, like physical crowd in front of you, or like people necessarily standing over you watching and whatnot. But you know, psychologically, you know that there's like thousands of people watching, so you know, you still feel that pressure. But to me, I didn't feel it. I feel like the same way that I felt like playing, you know, on a stage at Frag. Even though it's so small, it's just like when you know you're the main uh, point of like view, right? Everybody's watching you.
You're the
You're up
center
there
of
on the stage, you
attention.
know. Yeah, you have the spotlight on you, so it's like different. But I mean, that's a cool feeling for sure. And it's interesting. Like you can feel the energy of like how people react under that sort of stress and like pressure. You know, even when you're playing, people definitely play like differently, and uh, you know, I don't know, it's weird, but you get that feeling, you know, like you know everyone else is feeling the pressure too. So it's like interesting because people are maybe not as confident and whatnot, and like it's interesting, but it's cool. Like, I do like that feeling. It makes the game way more enjoyable when like you know the stakes are like even, when you know everybody's feeling that pressure.
That's that, dude. I'm gonna play at one of the like small Jersey lands once I'm up there and finally get to play Counter Strike on land for real. I got to play the like little practice match that we had to do prior to Canada, and so I got to feel Counter Strike on land and play a best of three that way. But I mean, it was not serious whatsoever.
Yeah,
But like I'm looking forward to having that experience of like, okay, the pressure's on. It's
yeah.
actually happening right now. Well, and I don't want to keep you ridiculously long here as well, so I won't. I've only got
Oh, you're
several
good.
more. I mean, we're I'm not like wrapping up right now, but I just want you to know I'm conscious of this time as well. Uh,
I appreciate it.
but I so if I'm not mistaken, the Budapest Major, one of the things that Starladder has done in the past is all matches are going to be played in front of a crowd. No,
I actually have no idea. I don't know that.
W-
I'm not
is
sure.
this
I
new?
have to
Is this
confirm.
news to you?
Yeah, maybe.
I
Yeah, I'm pretty
believe
sure that's news to me. I don't
I
remember hearing that, but
you ask your team because they probably know better than I do, but I'm pretty sure one of their big marketing things when Starladder said they were doing a major is that they're like, and we will have every or every match played in front of a crowd.
mhm.
And whether or not that's going to be like an arena, because that seems really fucking expensive to
Yeah,
rent out an arena for and hope that it sells out 2 weeks straight.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so I was gonna see. Are you excited to? How are you feeling going into this major? And now that you know you're going to be playing in front of a crowd of some kind,
I mean,
does
that's pretty
that
cool. No, I mean, I I don't know. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of experience, so I'm not trying to like over um I don't know what the word is, but um like I don't have a whole lot of experience obviously like playing in front of a big crowd or whatever, but to me I feel like I would like that more just cuz I don't know, like I think that psychologically like you just get that feeling, you know, when people when you know the team and whatever that you're playing against, like they're also on the spotlight, you know. So like you, like I said before, like you really feel that energy of like how people are feeling with the pressure, and you know how people play and how the pressure affects them, and like obviously some people are very good under pressure, some people aren't, whatever. But I don't know, I can like feed off that energy, and I like that because to me, I know that I'm not the only person feeling that, so it's like I feel like I'm on an even playing ground, where like the pressure is equal, if that makes sense. So uh, you, I don't know, I just feel like you tend to see people not playing super confident or like you know overly confident, where you might see in like low pressure matches where people are just like you know playing like very confidently, you know, and I don't know, it like evens it out in that way, at least from my perspective. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but at least that's how I feel when I play. Um, like in front of people. Um, so I mean, I'm excited for that. Like, I would rather that than like, I don't know, in just like a little room with like blind shut. You know, pretty cool in that way. I mean,
No, I mean,
and more
and
exciting for sure.
yeah, and that's like the goal you set for yourself as well, like coming back to playing with these guys, right? Is to like
Yeah.
get to travel the world and play Counter-Strike with your friends, and now you get to go do it at literally the highest level in Counter-Strike.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, how obviously you can't like tell me your strats by any means, but like how do you guys prepare for something like the major versus like what you guys are going to be doing in Jersey in a couple weeks?
Um,
Like,
I
have you
mean,
started major prep work?
well, I wouldn't say like, I mean, yes, like practice obviously, but I wouldn't say like preparation per se in terms of like, you know, how you would say like preparation for like a specific team, obviously.
Yeah,
But
you don't know who you're playing yet, I
yeah,
guess, huh?
yeah. So I mean, obviously, there's not like a whole lot of preparation in that sense. Obviously, we're still practicing and whatever, preparing for it in that way of like just being better individually as a team, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I wouldn't say like, I mean, it's my first major, so I couldn't tell you. Obviously, it's not like I have like, any experience at a previous major to say like how much preparation goes in beforehand. Um, in that regard of like, you know, maybe who you're playing against, et cetera. But obviously, just standard like practice and preparation for individual and team wise, like just really trying to hone in on fixing mistakes and just building consistency to our game and everybody's individual game. Um, just trying to practice the things that you're really gonna do when you play. You know, like not doing random shit that you know there's no consistency to it really. Like especially one thing I can say for sure too is like just do like practicing what you expect to do and then doing that thing what you practice like when you play. So there's some sort of consistency, especially when, you know, pressure hits you, like your mind isn't really that clear when you're playing in an intense environment, you know, and there's like a lot of pressure, people watching, blah, 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 blah. Like, gotta have some sort of consistency, you know. So I'd say like that's probably a really big one.
Um, I was gonna ask too, what when you played back in the day on like CLG and Splice in your first stint as a pro, were there coaches for those teams? Did you guys have a coach?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Okay. How has coaching changed since then compared to like now, where you're working under somebody like Daps? I don't know who your coach was back then, but
I don't, no, I don't even remember our coach on CLG. Well, I remember the coach on CLG Academy. Uh, but I don't remember the main roster. I don't remember who the coach was for that. But I mean, like even on Splice, for example, I mean, I don't know how I would say like it changed. Um, I mean, the way that I view it is that like Counter Strike is just forever evolving, right? Like the meta always changes. Like one simple smoke that some person finds can like completely change the meta of the game, you know? And it's ever evolving in that way. And then like obviously with CS2 coming out, it's a lot different with mechanics. And then obviously like smokes and grenades and utility usage too is a little bit different because you can nade the smokes now. And then obviously there's no like skyboxes, so you can throw nades from pretty much anywhere on the map. So that changes a lot too. So like the meta changes a lot in that regard. And I mean it always has changed. But I would say like even for coaching, it's like I wouldn't say it's really different per se. I mean I really would just say that the biggest thing is just like having a coach that's competent and knowing like being able to keep up, you know, with how fast everything changes. And I can say for sure that like especially when CS2 came out, like it changed so fast. Like I wasn't even playing the game really when I came, you know, like when CS2 first came out, I hated the game and I just didn't really play it, and and so I wasn't really playing at all. And then like once they started like updating and fixing the game a little bit. Then I was like, all right, well, it's not too bad. Like it's a little bit more playable, so I would play a little bit more. But I just realized how fast everything changed. Like the util usage people are doing, the way people take like map control with nades, and I don't know, like a lot changed, and that was like a really big thing for me, obviously coming in. But I would say like the same thing for coaches, which is just like you know having a coach that can keep up with the times really like changes so fast, and not being stuck in like old ways, and just knowing how to adapt and stay up to meta and to what's like currently working and that type of stuff. That goes for the players too. Obviously, it's not just the coach.
Yeah, well, I guess I realized I was when I asked that question. When I asked that question, I was thinking in my head that like coaching wasn't like coaches are a very crucial part of esports now in like 2025, and I feel like back in like 2017, 2018, people were like, a coach for esports, really? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
so I was just curious to, but like thinking back on it too, though, coaches have always been around, and it's always been somebody that used to play the game a shitload on LAN. That's
yeah.
just kind of there to like keep everybody chill and like focused, and like stick to their game plan, right? Like so. Kind of a dumb question, but I appreciate you entertaining me either way.
Yeah, maybe I rambled a little bit on too much without knowing the context. But
No,
yeah, I mean, I know what you're trying to say. But I mean, maybe the reason why I've thought about it differently is because, um, like I had a really good coach, and I think like even like when I was climbing, this is early on, but when I played like on CLG Academy and whatever, like I had a good coach, like he understood the game, and like he pointed out a lot of mistakes in my game, and that obviously like helped me develop as a player. So I'm not sure, like I think a lot of people have a different perception, like what a coach may really do, but and everybody is obviously different. Like yeah, there are some coaches that maybe don't do a whole lot of like that type of stuff. Maybe they're just like more emotionally like um available to to just like calm emotions and whatnot, but
come on,
I
gang,
don't know.
you got this, everybody. That's
Yeah,
that kind of coach.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, having a good coach is obviously very important, and like even working with Daps, like he's a very good coach, and um, he helps a lot in that way too, just with like my game, especially coming in because um, obviously I didn't have a whole lot of experience in CS2, and then I haven't played in a while, so coming in, we knew it was going to be work, and I told him like, as long as you're willing to work with me and whatever, like, you know, then we can make it work. And he's obviously done a lot to help me in that way. So it's been cool, and it's been fun. And he's helped a lot. So yeah, I do think that coaches are very important, obviously, and definitely more important, way more important now than before.
Well, that actually, you must be a psychic as well, because you read my mind of my revision of that question is what makes a good coach and how important do you think they are. So yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing that. Well, dude, this has been a real hoot to yap with you here. I don't want to keep you too much longer. It's already been an hour here, and I feel like we got the full exotic story here. No? Do
Yeah,
you feel
I
like
think so.
there's anything you left out?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, there may be some
Well,
stuff, but it's been so long, it's a long journey. There's a lot of,
it
dude,
it's
I forget half the stuff myself, and I lived through it.
I know. Well, and don't forget, dude, you're still young. I was looking at your HLTV page. You're only 24 years old, right?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, and you're like that's the world is still ahead of you. Who knows what kind of coach you'll be someday? But I know from my perspective personally, I don't know if I speak for others, but like for me, I know that like there's part of what has been a struggle in North American Counter-Strike over the last like several years, especially since Valorant, is just like how much there has not really been like interesting storylines in our tier 2 or like our professional scene. And so
Yeah.
to like see you come back and like go through all this in the last several months, and now you're going to play in a major, like it's cool to see this storyline, and it's really nice to like get to talk to you personally. Now, I do have one favor to ask of you. If you win the major, you come back on here and you talk about it with Big D.
Of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. Well, all right, dude. I do have a couple. Normally we talk about like VRS and NACS and whatnot, but like you're just back into it right now and finding your groove as like a player within
Yeah.
a team. So I can't imagine that like that is stuff that's even on your mind right now.
Yeah. Not really. I mean, like, it's been a interesting ride, obviously, but a lot of work too. I mean, like I said, coming back and playing like takes a lot of effort to get up to par with everybody, and just, I mean, there's like a billion maps. Like, say a billion, but it feels that way just because, when you're out of meta and you haven't played in a while, and like I haven't even played on a team in so long, it's like every single map, there's so much small details that take a long time or a while to like, get used to, get back in the groove, finding my own individual form again, that type of stuff, and just like, continuously learning. It's like not definitely not easy, but that's like
Well,
all that's on my mind.
I have been thrilled watching you this year. I've been tickled. I've gotten to know you as well and got to see you at your first LAN, and I'm very excited to see where your journey takes you. And I'll be rooting for you guys at the major. I'll be rooting for all NA teams. So just know I'm spreading the love, but.
Yeah.
Definitely a special spot in my heart for NRG, and with your storyline and old Captain America out there leading the charge as well. They're hometown heroes. So, all right, dude, I got 2 last questions for you. It's up to you how long you want to take to answer them, but they are quick. One is, where does your in-game name XotiC come from? Where did you come up with that?
Oh man, I don't even remember. Like, I was so young, but um I actually don't even know. Like, I just came up with it somehow, some way. I just thought it looked cool. Like,
And
I was like,
sounded
yo,
cool.
this would be, yeah, I was like, this would be badass if we just like remove the E and just have an, like XotiC. Like, I thought that would be sick. I don't know. I'm dumb. Like, as a kid, I'm like, I thought it was like cool, but I don't know.
Kids
That's
are creative.
pretty much, yeah. I just felt like, yeah, to add some creativity to it, just remove the E. That's how creative I am. I removed one letter.
It's capital it's
Yeah.
capital X, capital C, right?
Well, I initially did that, but I don't. Um, I stopped doing that. Like, I did that when I was like really young, when I like first came up with that name. But I hate it that way. Actually, I think it looks way cooler just like all lowercase. But
Well, all right, I got one last question here for you. If you could talk to a younger version of yourself and give them some advice, what would it be? It could be esports or Counter-Strike or school or e-commerce in your situation related. Whatever you want to say to a younger version of yourself.
shoot, oh man. I would say, like, I don't know. There's a lot that I would say, but I would say probably one of the biggest ones is just like, it gets easier over time, I think, in terms of like when you're putting in that hard work and you're you're grinding, you're doing whatever, and this applies to anything, opinion, especially with stuff that's not like tangible. Um, it's like when you're in the grind and you're doing that same thing over and over and over again, and you're not seeing any results or success. Like it takes time, but it gets easier, and the results eventually come. You know, I would say that's like a big one because I don't know. I think like CS, e-commerce, like all this stuff, uh, they're very similar in a lot of ways, which is when you're working towards something and there's not like tangible goals that you can achieve and do, you sometimes you can't see the progress that you're having, and it's not always linear. You know, there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, but it's always the long term, right? Which is like, you know, maybe you peak, maybe you come down, but then maybe your next peak is even higher. You never know. But as long as you keep working towards that goal and you keep applying yourself, and obviously don't ever give up, you keep grinding and keep doing that thing over and over, regardless of what it is. The journey becomes easier, and it gets better, and you start to enjoy that grind. You know. Um, yeah, that's probably what I would say.
You'll learn to enjoy the grind.
Yep.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Well, I think that's good advice. All right, dude. Well, this has been a lovely episode of Laying It Down with Big D. I'm glad we got to hear the full XotiC story. Is this the first time you've shared the full XotiC story with somebody?
I mean, like people that I'm like close with, but not like very publicly.
Publicly for
Yeah. Yeah, for like
maybe a
other.
couple
Yeah.
hundred people to watch?
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
we're some big YouTuber by any means, but the NACS and people that go to Frag, they watch these and
Yeah.
definitely are going to be. I bet Jeff from Dust 2 is watching this. He
Hmm.
wants to know all about you. I know that much.
Hmm.
That sounds weird. That's a journalist thing, not a weird thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
All right, dude. Well, again, thank you for joining me. Good luck at the major. And as one last thing here, just like the end of Hot Ones, if you want to do a little this camera, let the people know what you got going on. Shout outs, plugs, where they can find you. I mean, I guess we talked about you going to the major here, but any shout outs
Yeah.
you want to give before we get out of here?
Um. Well, first, thank you for having me. Obviously, it's been a good talk, and appreciate the having me on here in the conversation. And I mean, everything. You'll probably see it on Twitter. I'm assuming you'll post it or something. So you'll probably like tag me or something, so they can find most of my socials there and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, biggest thing really is just the major coming up. So I'm preparing for that. There's not a whole lot of anything going on before then, so probably won't be like super active, like social media wise in that regard. But yeah, that's the next big thing. So that's the main focus right now.
Come say hi to you at Frag Jersey.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be there.
Yeah, here's one last question for you actually. As a professional player, when you go to like those smaller lands, how do you like when like everybody comes up and wants to talk to you?
I mean, I don't mind. I'm not antisocial, so I don't mind like having a conversation with people and whatever. Like it's cool. I mean, everybody's there for the same reason, right? You got some commonality, so it's not like that's like already a huge icebreaker, you know. So it's cool in that way. Like it doesn't bother me. I'm not
Well,
like unfriendly. Like I won't I won't bite you if you come up and
no.
say hi.
I think there's a lot of people that go to those things that are like, oh, let's not bug NRG. They're like, they're focused. Let's NRG, or whatever. Like, because you're wearing a jersey, but it's like, in my mind, I have to imagine like, yeah, in the Counter-Strike world, you guys are like little micro celebrities and whatnot, but in your everyday life, you're just Zach to everybody
Yeah,
else, right? Like
yeah.
nobody thinks of you that way. So I have to imagine when you guys go to those smaller events, especially like Frag, it's got to be fun when people are like, "Oh, dude, can I get a picture?" I know I enjoy it.
Yeah.
We're not quite a celebrity yet, but everybody comes and says hi to me, so I feel like one. All
Yeah.
right, dude. that's enough. Let's find out if I actually recorded my audio on my end. But regardless, this has been a wonderful episode. Thank you for joining, and thank you all for watching. That
Thank you so much.
is, of course, dude. Thank you.